Hi everyone, I'm Rachel. I'm the Animal Care Supervisor of Ectotherms at Naples Zoo, and today we're going to be talking about some of our alligator training that we get to do here. It's a really exciting program. We've got a lot of different things that are going on, but today we're just going to go over a few of those. So we do have 13 alligators here at Naples Zoo. They're all adults, and they range in age from their early 20s to in their 70s. So we've got a really wide range of ages, but that being said, they are pretty similar in size. So our males are all about 10 to 12 and a half feet long, and our females are about 7 to 9. So with all of them being pretty similarly sized, they can all live together and have the normal social interactions that they would out in the wild. And for us to be able to care for them in our exhibit, we've got this very large habitat for them, and they can go lots of different places within the water as well as on land. So if we don't have a way to have them all come over to us and be able to check on them, it would be really difficult for us to make sure that everybody's healthy, nobody has some concern that we need to be aware of. So that's why we do our training. Now we can actually call them. I just started a few years ago just yelling alligators, which people made fun of at first, and then now they just show up, and we can have them all line up on the beach. And what we do at the beginning of a training session is just throw these biscuits in the water. So they get crocodilian biscuits. They have a lot of different vitamins and minerals in them, and they work really well for training since they float. So the biscuits help us to reinforce that behavior of just showing up to the beach and then staying stationary in the water until we ask for a behavior. And some of the behaviors that they know are just coming forward when we call their name. They all do know their names really well. We can also ask them to hold, and then while they're holding, we can make sure that there's nothing that we need to be concerned with. They don't have, a scrape on their tail or something like that that would be harder to see when they're in the water. Then we also do target training with most of our alligators, and that's what we focused on this morning. This is kind of an earlier time than we would do the training. There's also more people on the beach than we normally have. We also have masks on, so there's a lot of new factors, and we like them to be comfortable with doing the training even though these other factors are in place. And that just helps to kind of solidify that bond that they have with their trainers. And some of the target training behaviors that we do have a lot to do with what we're doing to keep them healthy. So, for example, being able to weigh the alligators is really important. We want to make sure that we can check on their weights frequently and monitor that, so we can use that target just to ask them to step right onto a big weigh board that we have for our scale. Other things that we've done with that target training is actually voluntary blood draws. So little man who goes towards the blue target, we actually can have him line up and then have our veterinary staff come over and be able to successfully draw blood from the end of his tail. So that's a really good situation to have, because if at any time he feels uncomfortable, if he is nervous, he wants to leave, he can literally just stand up and walk back towards the water calmly, and that has been a really big breakthrough with us, because we want them to be able to take a part in their own medical care. So I really am happy that we're able to do some of this training at Naples Zoo. We've been working with this particular program for about 4 years. They've known their names and a lot of different behaviors a lot longer than that. But as we progress forward and add these things into their training, it's been really exciting because they have so much going on that we often don't think about when it comes to what they're thinking, what they're feeling. A lot of times with reptiles, we assume that they don't really learn very well, or maybe their personalities aren't as strong as some of the other animals at the zoo. But the more that I work with them, the more that I see that there is a lot going on that we don't realize, and it's just in a different way because they aren't mammals like us, so sometimes it's harder for us to see those things and to relate to them. But our alligators can tell the different reptile keepers apart. They know those different behaviors. We've seen things like preference towards certain people, we've seen jealousy, we've seen a lot of really interesting personality traits going on out here. So to me, that's just really exciting to be able to talk about and show you guys, because these are incredible animals with a lot of intelligence, and we're happy to be able to show you them today.